Welcome back to Villa Famiglia, everybody. We are week 66. We have an action-packed walkthrough today and lots of great tips and tricks for you along the way as well. Stay tuned, lock in, and let's go check things out. Okay, so here we are on the outside of the home, obviously, and we have got most of the painting done. It looks like there's some debate between doing the side trims here in a dark color or the same color as the siding, so we'll find out what it's ultimately done. I'm gonna suggest they're gonna go for the dark trim on the side, on the corners here. Anyways, I love this color, looks fantastic. What do you guys think of the color? Colors. We've got sidewall shingles at the top there, slightly different. It's really starting to come together though. It's starting to look like a home. And you know, in the next coming weeks, we're gonna have decking going on. We're gonna have, and basically these people should be moving in 6 weeks from today, give or take. Hopefully everything goes well. So let's keep rolling around here. Again, we haven't talked about this much, Kyle, but this is gonna be the home for the future generator, and generator is gonna go there. Hose bib, window well. We're still waiting for a window well cover, which will need to go in just so that people can't fall in. Although I don't know if it's gonna be needed. I mean, it's only 2 feet down. I actually don't know that we're gonna need it. We'll see what the inspector says. I'd say hopefully we don't need a window well cover for that one. Coming through here, oh, we got Desmond working away in the background. So this is gonna be where the gas meter goes. And this is gonna be where the future heat pump is gonna go. Yep, heat pump right there. I'm just trying to debate if it was heat pump or heat pumps. And there's gonna basically be like stairs coming up here, and that's why this ledger board is here. This is gonna be what we attach the stairs to. And don't forget, folks, right behind all of this siding is 4 inches of insulation. So this home is going to be extremely, extremely energy efficient. Okay, so we are in the future garage. Well, it is the current garage, but I mean, obviously nobody's in here. And we now have our garage door. So this is actually really starting to turn into a proper space. Now, one thing I want to make sure all of you folks are doing, you always want your eyes for your garage door to be somewhere between 4 and 6 inches above the ground. If it's any higher than that, those eyes are not going to activate if a cat or a small child is underneath the door, and then the door is going to come down and potentially hurt that animal or kid. So we always want to make sure that these eyes here are 4 to 6 inches above your garage floor height. Very, very important, right? So how that works is that eye talks to a partner eye. Actually, I think over there, it's just a reflection. And so it's basically a laser beam going back and forth. And if the laser gets broken, then it knows that there's an obstruction there, and the door will not close, and if it gets interrupted as the door is coming down, the door will actually go right back up again. So we've got one of our newly hired team members out here preparing to dig what is going to be a small foundation, or footing, I should say, for a retaining wall. There's some goofiness that's being forced upon us by other parties, shall we say. And so we are having to basically put in a bit of a retaining wall to kind of back onto this rock wall. Let's not ask why and just smile and nod. Nonetheless, there's going to be a complete concrete slab here, and then there'll be a skinny concrete wall here to help support this rock wall. We've got cabinets. Check out all of these amazing details in here. Of course, a lot of this stuff has already been hidden because it needs to be protected. Oh, Kyle, you got to check out the poles on here. It's the same as here, but we've got a two-tone kitchen. So I'm just loving the detailing on this hood fan here. This looks fantastic. And then we've got the same color on the island, which is also going to look fantastic. There is a ton of action going on in here. So much stuff and not enough space to put it all in. So definitely very close quarters for working on this particular project. It's nice when we have a little bit more elbow room, but we've squeezed a lot of living into this home, and it is going to be so fantastic once it is 100% done. But how cool is this? So behind Kyle is actually where the future fridge freezer is going to go. And so you can see that it's actually going to be pretty big fridge freezer going on over here. We've got microwave wall oven going over here. We've got a Lazy Susan corner over here. And I'm assuming that that's an appliance garage over there. And you know, you, the viewer, might be like, well, the door is way too high above the cabinets. Well, yes, it is, because we still have countertops to go on top of the cabinets, which are still not here. So not still, just aren't here yet. They're on their way. And over here, we're gonna have what looks to be an 8-burner cooktop over here. Let's see if I'm right about that in the future. Now, if you're a keen observer, you're looking around and you're thinking, looks like a job site, lots of things going on. But you might be asking, why is there a fan sitting here with air filters sitting here? Well, this is a carpenter's air cleaning apparatus. So we've got the fan, it's blowing up this way, it's sucking air in through the sides here, and all of the dust that's getting put into the air as he's cutting is gonna get collected into these filters and help keep the air more clean as he's working. So we've of course got, a station here for sucking up any sort of dust that comes off the table saw, and we've also got something on the back of his chop saw as well, but inevitably some dust escapes. So keep the air clean while you're working. Super cheap. It's just a square fan, a box fan, 20, 30 bucks at Rona or Home Depot, and then a couple of, or 4 pleated filters, and off you go. And then on the bottom is another one, I think. So 5 pleated filters and instant air cleaner. Ugly, but effective. We can see here that all of the baseboard is starting to get put in here. It's looking very, very nice, very, very good. And again, this is the pantry. Cabinets haven't been in here yet, but now they are. So we've got all the pantry cabinets going in here. We've got a secondary wall oven going in here. This family loves to cook, so they're gonna have lots of opportunity to do that here. I really like these cabinet handles. Very in vogue right now. This kind of rough gold sort of aesthetic. Really like it. Very cool. So here we are in the dining room, and these are the dining room cabinets. And I mean, again, like this home is not going to want for storage in any way, shape, or form. Like there is going to be a place to put everything for the rest of time. I am almost certain that there are going to be empty cabinets when these clients move in. It's not the first time, but it looks so good. I love this color. It's a really neat color. I hope it comes through on the camera, but it's just, in person, it's a really, really interesting kind of like teal, not teal. I don't know. It's really, really cool. I love this color. Okay, so here we are in the mudroom. Cabinets not yet installed. I actually don't know why. Maybe they're coming in a second wave of cabinetry, but not in yet. Here is the office, current and future, actually. So everything is looking good. One of the things that I am always looking for when I'm doing our walkthroughs and I'm on site is any of the areas where there's like a long, obvious straight run. I always want to make sure our baseboards are going in dead straight, right? Like if it's behind a desk or behind a bed, we want that to look good too. But at the end of the day, nobody's ever really going to see it. But what people are absolutely going to see are any sort of runs like this. So, we want to make sure that this baseboard, which is totally visible down the hallway, is perfectly straight. Same thing with this baseboard here and the baseboard behind Kyle over there as well. We want this stuff to be straight because people are going to be looking at it all day, every day. People are going to be walking by it every day. It's really, really, really important. When you have these door, window sort of scenarios, getting everything put in the right place in the first place is the most important thing you can do, because we want to make sure that this trim at the top of the window and door is able to go in straight. When it doesn't, it's always obvious and it always looks like shit. So really important to get them roughed in the right place before you even get going on any of this work. Now, of course, there's a lot of complexity here in the detailing that goes to make sure everything ties in and looks good in here. So ultimately what's gonna happen is once Jason's finished doing what he's gotta do, this casing will go on in here. There'll be a small space between the two. And we debated about whether or not we fill this up or not. And I think that this is gonna look absolutely fantastic, like so. The team is just putting in a header piece up here, and then all of these pieces of casing will abut into that. So nonetheless, looking great. And I don't know what you guys do on your job sites, but one of the things that we found works really well is to set up a laser and set drywall screws and use the heads of the drywall screws as backing for the window and door returns, right? So you can see that there's screws here So a laser is used to set those screws. You can imagine though that there's a laser set up kind of sort of where Kyle's standing right now, and that laser is shooting a straight line up and down, and you just screw these screws in until the tip of the screw head is right on the laser, and then you set it and forget it, and then you just attach your molding to that. And of course, you know, you do that every 12 or so inches. The MDF is not going to flex at all over that span, and off you go. Straight, easy, repeatable, and looks fantastic. In case you, the viewer, are wondering why some of these windows have a flat stock up here and then a trim casing like this, but if we look over here, we can see that this window actually has the same casing going around the outside. The reason being is these windows are all going to be getting mechanical blinds installed on them. And so those blinds, or the cassettes for those blinds, so to speak, will get mounted to this flat stock here, and here's the power for it. So that is what's going to allow this room to be dark at night. And this room will want to be dark at night because that is due west. And so this room is definitely going to see the sunshine in the afternoon and evenings. Guaranteed. All right, so we have our friends from Rockstar Painting on site getting the basement trimmed out and prepped out. So we can see here, they've started to add all of their filler to the nails. This has not been sanded yet because I can still feel how rough it is. But I can assure you, once these magicians are done, these trims and these walls are going to look amazing. Okay, so here we are in the future basement suite. And so this is going to be where the kitchen will ultimately be. I mean, how amazing is it to have a walkout basement suite? Boom, ground level, out you go, ready to rock and roll. It's a cozy space. Be the first to admit, it's a cozy space. It's not a spacious basement suite, but still, it is a very, very comfortable area in which to get to live in the future. If we keep moving through here, we can see that the painters have already sanded out all of the trims over here. So, you know, one of the things that I would encourage you to do as a homeowner is, if you're trying to DIY some of this stuff, don't use your eyes, use your fingers. Run your hand over the moldings. That is going to tell you what it's going to do in the future. Your eyes are going to lie, but if you run your hand over the moldings, that is going to tell you. And right now, that's feeling pretty darn smooth to me. Now, behind me, they have got all the doors set up and dialed in for spraying. So these doors have already been scuffed, it looks like to me. And so now they're just gonna get painted. So once the trims are ready for paint, they'll paint the doors at the same time once they've got the spray gun going. But folks, I cannot say this enough. The most important part of painting is the preparation. You must take the time to get everything prepared before you paint. The application of the paint is maybe 15% of the work. The real work is in the preparation for painting. And that is the difference between a crappy DIY job and a professional job. So if you don't want to be a crappy DIYer, take the time, do the preparation. That is where the magnificence comes from. You're not going to achieve that without taking the time to prepare your substrates before you apply the paint. Prepare, prepare, prepare. Make them ready to go. That's a wrap on today, everybody. Listen, did you know that Sprucehill Homes are major transformation experts? We are the best in the business, for sure. If you want to work with us, we would love to work with you and be your partners in success. You can phone us or find us on the web. Whatever works for you, we would love to work with you. We hope you'll consider us for your next project. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Stay awesome, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye now.